Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to Sunday. This is the kickback and relax time, which is good for me because it's the second weekend in 4 years I've actually had a break. Yeah, I'm managing to spend a bit of time to work on unit farming, Karina's challenges, spending time with them, and also looking at what I'm doing new tech-wise for the office. As hopefully next week I've updated the office. Today's thing that I'm looking at is mats. Yeah, trying to kind of like figure out what the best kind of like mat to have for the size and area that I've got for my desk. There's so many things sometimes. Which if you're interested, I kind of cover what the plans are for the year in the RichTheMan roadmap, which starts, even though it says Jan 2025, I do say in the video that the timeline for that is starting February, and that's because I've got so much stuff that I'm trying to catch up on, like months and even years of things that I've kind of neglected personally about myself that I need to improve, and that's just things like, you know, health and well-being, right the way through to just like stuff on this channel to improve the way that videos are edited and stuff like that. All kind of the templates and the production value. So let's properly begin the video as to what is going on with my account as of now. We'll talk about this month, January 2025. What's going on? Well, I do have a lot of champions up to a certain rank that I like, and that is good, but I need more improvements to that. We'll come back to champions in a minute, but we're talking about this month. I'm having a very kind of like selfish month, not in a kind of like a malicious or bad way, but the extent of I need to get stuff done, and I'm working on it. I hate Necropolis. It's no word of a lie. For last year, I've hated the content. It's not really something I've personally enjoyed. But I am still of the ilk of the mindset of the mentality. If I don't like something, but I still think it's relevant to go and pursue it, I will go and do it. And it will make me miserable. It will make me unhappy. But at least I know that that's going to be the case. Don't worry, I am generally quite a happy person. And I know when to go game to the side and focus on like enjoying stuff. Which for the first time in 4 years, I think it is, I've had weekends off. Like last weekend and the weekend before, I actually was able to relax and spend time with Emily, which I've just not had that chance. And it's trying to find that, it was trying to find that balance of life and work, and it's getting there. It will take to February, March, even April to kind of get that nice balance of my time versus like living and existing well and having a good life. Yeah, I definitely want to make sure that this month I get this done here to get to that tier 7 basic, because I do feel that Kabam are going to add in something that is not going to be, there's going to be a new progression. You're going to have to chase it. And of course, if you spent $200,000 to get, or even like $100,000 to get one rank 4, let alone $200,000 to get a rank 4 7-star, you know something's around the corner. That is going to be very much that. So with 3 runs into Karina's challenges done, and of course a load of units like blasted through, because I'm not spending all the time farming up the revives and health potions. I just don't have the time to sit around for that. I could easily farm the units I require to do it. And yeah, the Deathless run, which I did recently, was actually a lot of fun. But that's, apart from the Grandmaster fight, like, and also some of the paths, like, I'm glad that I'm coming to the end. 2 more runs to do, and I probably will just do the 2 half runs and probably skip the last thing, which is getting the last one for the choice between the Awakening Maestro and 7-star Nexus, because I could get trash from the 7-star Nexus, and the Maestro Awakening, I don't know if I actually need. There's other people in the Alliance that have an Awakened version, so therefore it's a better defender option. So yeah, anyway, that's been January, and January is all about my catch-up month. Catch-up month, or kind of positioning myself. I think February was going to be more of a catch-up month, but I do have to catch up because I haven't done Thronebreaker, because I've been pursuing doing Necropolis. Quickly on unit farming, I'm finding a better way to farm units than I did previously in previous years, and that is by a higher acquisition of amount of 7-stars, and I am a non-spending player, by the way. There's also the 4-stars, like I created over time a good enough 4-star roster that per like rotation I can get 600k. It might not seem that, because you're like, well, Rich, you've only done there 104k. It's very difficult because I've got other content and also other things on at the moment, which is taking my time. But at weekends, I'm able to give a bit more time. Me and Em might go out for a walk, and in that hour's walk where we're still chatting, I'll be kind of like quickly kind of like swiping and looking like this and stuff, but I'm still engrossed in conversation. It's kind of like multitasking. As a man, that's the only multitasking I think I can do, is to swipe on the device like this and still be engrossed in conversation and out for a walk. So I'm getting exercise, I'm having a chat, and at the same time I'm playing the game, but I am giving someone attention. It's not like that for people judging. I'm sure some people understand they can do the same thing. You try your best as much as possible to multitask and also farm as many units as possible. This year, I've definitely got to put a lot of things right that I've done wrong in the past. The rights will be to create and work harder in Battlegrounds. Very sporadic for me. It's either like one month I'm very proactive and the other month I'm not. I've got to like work on that. But then again, it comes to what I'm going to do with the channel as to live stream types, because I'm going to do some special types of challenges on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but they're going to have a theme and a structure to them, and they're going to have a bit of fun, a bit of weird green screen stuff, and a bit more to it. So I'm excited for that, but I need to kind of work into how that's going to work. And catching up with content is going to be a really important thing as well. I'm behind with Act 9.1, not ridiculously. I mean, I've done one completion of it, but I need to do this more, and I need to do this sooner rather than later because 9.2 is around the corner, and I need to catch up because I'm ultimately behind with that. But that's the problem of several years of working several jobs and still trying to keep everything kind of ticking over and moving. But this comes to rank 3 opportunities. There is, I think, one more rank 3 opportunity for me right now under Reckoning. Under 9.1, yeah, I'll go with yes. Like, there is a volume there of Tier 4 Alpha, so I'll say potentially yes. That's another opportunity for a rank 3 7-star. It's not where I'm currently at the moment, but it's very important because it means I'll get stronger champions as a result. And here's largely where the account tour comes to its kind of important point, and that is the extent of champions. And now look, I do need to do a bit more work. I do have further rank ups to do, but it's very weird seeing Dr. Doom always there as my #1 champion. I got 7-star signature stones to use. But one thing that I have noticed is that you have to be really careful. Like, I keep saying it a lot of time, if you're a non-spending player, especially one that's maybe not able to get like a huge amount of rank ups at higher level quickly, you have to be very careful. Like, I've got rank ups to do. I just got to be very careful of like what gets the rank up and why. If I'm building a stronger battle deck for the future, then I need to make sure that some of these champions are being cultivated for that reason. Ipso facto, Killmonger. Killmonger was one of those for the future plan of the Battlegrounds defense roster. Onslaught as well, same principle. If I got Enchantress, she would be under that particular banner. Thanos Deathless Awakened, which you can see right there, that's obviously from doing the Karina's challenge. I'm pretty chuffed with myself that I actually kind of stuck by it and finished it off, even though it's going to be at a loss to myself, and I'm not going to... Not ridiculously, like, it's all gain at the end of the day, but I didn't have to spend to get there, so to speak. Mr. Sinister as a 7-star. There's other 6 stars at rank 5 which are very powerful and very fun, and I love them to bits. But then there's questionable ones as to, well, if I get a 7-star version of them, will I take them higher? If I've got them 7-star for the very first time, will I be taking them higher? Werewolf by Night. There's a ton that I could say. Werewolf by Night should be up there as a rank 3 7-star, but I have to think about when I'm getting the next resource as to what I'm doing with it. Man-Thing as well is another great champion that has been doing bits for me in Battlegrounds defense. So that may be an option that goes up to rank 3. There's tons. There's absolutely tons of decent champions that I've got up higher, and I'm happy with them, and they do very well. Whether or not it's going to be Joe Fixit, Crossbones. Warlock's a questionable one if I take that further, but, you know, there's been content he's helped out with, more so with the 6-star version because he's more powerful. The Awakened 200 signature gets that degen off quite nicely, so that's why that goes in his place. Guardian will be up there. That 7-star Guardian right there will be a next contender to go up. But again, it's down to resource. And is there an option? Luke Cage as well. He is a rank 2, but he will probably be a rank 3 at a later date. But I've got to be careful, again, about resource. We've got Guardian here. I've got a gem. Possibly that's another one. That was a nice awakening to get. And then, of course, we've got the freebie from Kabam Jack's leaving. There's a lot. You know, my first Necropolis run, Maestro is there. There's lots and lots of champions that are very helpful. Recently got Spider-Man, Spider-Ham awakened him. Lady Deathstrike, who I thought was a rank 2, but has been a rank 1. Gamora will be ranked up largely to take on the next Karina's challenge that I've got to do. it's not dimensional beings. Actually, I might skip the one that she's associated with. The gods, I'm looking forward to as much as possible. And it goes on. There's tons of champions that I've got to rank up, or an opportunity that they could be good. If you saw that Silk like surprise opening in the shorts, that was an exclusive shorts I did. That was a lucky pull, 7-star version. After I ranked 5 and was struggling for ISO for the level up of the 6-star version. There's a lot of fun things that have happened, and there's a lot of amazing champions I have. It's just resourcing it and ranking them up. I can do certain ones, but I need to be careful. That's the big thing. It's being careful. Lots of resources to farm. I will go farm them. But you've got to be so careful about your rank ups, because you might be like, well, if I rank up that one and then you open up some crystals, open all crystals by the way, you might find that there's something that might be better to be put up in its place. But I've still been very fortunate about picking up certain champions, which is nice, but I am still unowning a lot of champions that are key to the future for my account. Count the Farrier, I'd like Dust, Enchantress of course, Hitmonkey, Ironheart has been something I've just... The day I get a 6-star or 7-star Ironheart, I'll be a lot more happier, I think, in there. But I know a lot of people would like some of the champions I've got, so it's potato, isn't it? It's that's not the right terminology, but you know what I mean. Like trying to get some like champions, you're either going to have them or not. You either have them at 6-star or you don't have them at 7-star, and you're kind of like looking around and licking your wounds to go, oh man, I'd love to pick that as a 7-star. Even like some very obscure 6-stars, which would just be like future Ant-Man. Like, how have I missed off on that champion? That is going to have to be, even from selectors and I think Abyss options, like trying to get it, it's like, what is going on, man? Like, it's generally frustrating at times when you're chasing it. But maybe that's why I've got to focus on these Cyber Weekend deals and stuff to have selectors, because then it's like, well, I can select the champion then. So that's what I've got to focus on this year, is get those units farmed for deals for selectors and get some of these key champions that are going to be doing a bit more than, say, ones on the equal type of class spectrum. One of the challenges I'm going to have to set myself this year is improving my Summoner Prestige. My Relic Prestige isn't particularly great. That needs to be worked on. My Champion Prestige is 23,700. That needs to be worked on. There's a lot of like very capable, there's like better players than mine, especially within my alliance that have a lot higher prestige. Mcoc, who sits on 27.3k, fantastic player by the way. And with Bobby on 27k as well, some fantastic champions as well. That's an interesting one. The Thing right there is a rank 3 7-star, 140 signatures. Definitely a lot in January to aspire to what I want to do by the end of the year, and rather than doing like an account tour update every month, it's going to be something like, 6 monthly, see where I am now as to like where I am a little bit into the year. Either way, I'm trying to keep up to date with content as much as possible. So the stuff that's going to give me more meta-based items like the tier 7 basic, that is a big priority right now, as I do think things are going to be very much new progression. But also getting those first ever rank 4 7-stars, I think is going to be important as well. Yes, it will be only 1, but that's 1 less than the 2 that I've got to get elsewhere, and it's probably going to be some very meaty endgame content in order to grab it. So we'll have to see. What the future holds, especially with how I balance it around some real like life stuff that I want to achieve, some other channel stuff that I want to work on, some other business opportunities. There's a lot of things I want to get done this year, so it's just really cool to be back a little bit more playing and sort of enjoying myself. But I think Kabam have got to address a lot of issues and problems that players have had, and I damn well wish they'd get it sorted, especially AI this year has to be done. Anyway, that has been it for the video. How's your account doing? Do you feel you've got some ideas of what you want to improve this year? Put it in the comments. Check out some other content located on screen, and I'll hopefully be back live streaming next month once my new office stuff has all been set up, which that's going to be a tricky one and a scary one. Anyway, thanks for the support as always. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.